Ah, man, that sound is amazing. Happy Friday, everybody. You made it.
Sounds like Friday, buddy. Sounds like Friday.
Oh, and again, we're capping off and celebrating the end of barbecue month.
Yeah.
We've been cooking this brisket for you guys to see, but we've got a lot of knowledge coming up. So stay tuned.
That's right. Funday Friday.
Funday Friday. All right, man, it's Friday.
It's Friday.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness.
And it's the end of barbecue month. We've gone through
and we got a long weekend. Well, except for our retail associates. Sorry, everybody. They'll be here on Monday until 1 p.m. We're open from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Memorial Day.
Yeah.
So if you need anything last minute, come and get it at that time. I believe Lehigh's hours will reflect that as well.
Yeah.
Just double check the Google.
Yeah, and if the weather's nice, you can catch Jody at the pool. You'll be catching me at the lake. So just
maybe
so y'all know.
Maybe catching me at the pool. I don't know. I know I need to trim up something. No, that's not neither here nor there. For my bikini line, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? But hey, let us know where you're watching from.
Yeah.
Ask us any questions that you have. Put it in the comment section down below. Before we go any further, we need to remind you, man, it's 15% off at rectech.com.
For sure.
That is amazing savings. Yeah. So if you've been on the fence and you're just now hearing about that 15%, again, it's not going to linger around. It's not going to stick around here forever. Yeah. So make sure you go ahead and pull that trigger and get that grill headed your way. That way you can go ahead and have it in time for that 4th of July holiday coming up.
That's right. And for all of you guys that are new to the show, we want to welcome you to Funday Friday. And I want to introduce myself. I'm Chef John Pinnell. I am part of the culinary team here with this big guy right here. Jody, introduce yourself for the people who don't know you.
And hey, everybody, I'm Jody Flanagan, the brand advocacy manager here at RecTech. I just make sure that the brand is loud and proud out there. Again, part of the culinary team, and just happy to be here and educate all of you amazing folks.
That's right. We're missing one person.
Absolutely. He's on the road, Chef Greg Muller. Make sure you follow him at Chef Greg Muller on all social media. I'm at BBQDAD Jody, at Barbecue Dad Jody. You can find John
at Chef John Pinnell.
Shoot ya.
All right.
But they're already following RecTech on everything.
They are.
So shout out to YouTube. We love all of the folks out there on YouTube watching. I know Trumpet Master's probably out there. That's really the only one that I can think of right now. And
I just want to tell YouTube, we love you guys, and we've got some special stuff that's going to be happening in the next few months for YouTube. So be on the lookout.
Yeah, shout out Facebook too. So, but again, this episode is all about brisket.
Yeah.
And again, we do a lot of episodes on how to cook it.
Yes, sir.
How to slice it.
Yes, sir.
How to season it.
Yes, sir.
We've even done injection demos.
Yeah.
And other cool things with brisket.
Yeah.
But we've never really shown folks what to look for when they're at the grocery store and they've got a bunch of stuff in front of them.
We've left that part out.
Absolutely.
Somehow.
But we went to the store.
Yeah.
And we're going to show you a little video right now on what it looks like when we go to the store and check those briskets out. Hey, what's up, everybody? We're at our first retail location local to us when we go out and get our briskets.
That's right.
And we're going to show you what we're looking for, okay? We got a beautiful brisket right here. The very first thing that we're looking for is a particular size and shape. Okay, this one is at least 15 pounds. So that's what we're looking for. The next thing, we want to make sure that this cryovac is nice and tight. That way they secured it good when they process this. And the next thing we're looking for is that inner muscular marbling.
That's right.
The most important,
right, Chef John? The most important part of it.
So if you come on in here, Sherpa, and look at this bad boy, you can see right here some great intermuscular marbling, a lot of fat striations. That means this one's going to have a lot of flavor, and it's going to be delicious.
Yeah, yeah,
so
I like
that's really what we're using to determine which brisket out of all of these, in this case, is best for us.
Yes, for sure.
Cool. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Hey, not going to lie to you, really love showing off the big old city of Augusta.
Yeah.
I love heading out town and video recording it, showing all the folks what we're doing and how we're doing it. That was pretty fun.
Yeah, and shout out to all those big box stores because we didn't get kicked out of one of them.
Nope. And we went to 3 or 4 places, shot a bunch of footage, and we really do appreciate all those managers of those grocery stores letting us work.
Yeah, thank you guys so much.
Yeah, but again, if there's a takeaway from this episode, ladies and gentlemen. I just want you to take away this. Come on over here, Sherpa. I want everybody to show these briskets. These are the exact briskets that were shown in the video that we went and purchased.
That's right.
And again, these were all sitting together, okay? Now, just by the naked eye, you know, it looks as if this brisket, you know, is kind of missing a point, okay? And it's just a straight flat. Again, if it's sitting in with that guy, you know, a layman, somebody that's not familiar, may think that this is a whole packer brisket, okay? So that brings me to my very first point. When you're looking and choosing briskets, check out the information that is in front of you. Check out these labels right here. Now, sometimes, yes, they can be labeled wrong, but 9 times out of 10, these labels are going to be correct, okay? Now, if you look very closely at this one is labeled brisket flat, okay?
Whoa, but it was in there.
But it was mixed in with all of these whole briskets, okay?
Right.
Now, again, somebody that doesn't know anything is going to grab this, and you know what they're going to be missing? They're going to be missing all of that point meat down there at the bottom, okay? So, very first point, check that information, okay? Again, check out that date, and check out the weight. You know, when we're choosing briskets, we're really looking for a consistent weight. These two are close, you know, close in size. I really like to stay within a pound of like 16 to 17 pounds. That's really when I'm comfortable cooking. I really know how long it cooks, and I'm just familiar, you know, with the timeline on those. So I really like to stick to a 16 to 17 pound brisket. So I'm going to look at the date. I'm going to look at the weight. That's the first two things I'm going to look at, Chef John. The next thing I'm going to look at is that cryovac. I'm going to make sure that it's nice and tight and that it's not loose or anything like that. Therefore, it can, you know, cause several other issues if it's loose, you know, and it also lets us know that it's old.
Yeah, because air will actually get in there, and that's where you get the bacteria buildup. The cryovac's there to keep all the air out and keep all the juice in.
All that oxygen out. Very good point, Chef John. So I'm going to look at the label. We're going to look at the cryovac. Then we're just going to look at the color of the meat. You know, make sure that that meat is a nice red color. We're not looking for any browns or anything like that. Now, yes, you can get some browning when they do this cryovac technique, and it just the sealing of the bag can kind of create some browning, but that's okay. That's not going to mess with the flavor or anything. We're going to discard that and trim that off later. The next thing, and kind of the most important thing we're looking at, is the marbling and then the striations of fat. Okay, if we're looking at this point right here, we're looking, you know, at this big, large piece of meat. There's not too much marbling going on in there, okay? Not too much intermuscular fat, and that's really what we're looking for because fat equals flavor. That's right. So, but if we come over here to this whole brisket and we just take a look at this little round part right here, we got a lot of intermuscular fat, a lot of striations. I'm trying to get that angle just right for y'all to get the color in there, but you can see there's more striations of fat. Again, if we come over to this brisket right here, we're going to get some beautiful marbling right in here as well. We can also check out the side, and again, you can see those specks, that striations of marbling in there. The more marbling, the better. So if you've got, you know, 5 briskets all lined up, they're all about the same. They've all got a great cryovac. Really, truly, just pick the one with the best marbling. Now, after marbling comes, I think, you know, behind marbling, one of the most important things to look for, and then that's consistency in the brisket. Now, both of these whole briskets look great, you know, until you pick them up. When I start to pick this one up, I just noticed one thing, and that point meat is very, very thin on one end. Okay? So this is more than likely going to dry out for us.
Why is that, Jody? Why would that dry out before the other parts?
That's a very good point, Chef John, because of course it's thinner and it's smaller, so it's going to cook quicker. Okay? So then therefore it's going to dry out quicker. And if I'm picking up this bad boy right here, this is closer to the thickness of the left is closer to the thickness of the right, okay? So if I were choosing a brisket out of these 3, again, I would narrow it down to these 2 first, you know, and then I would just, you know, and then we're just splitting hairs at this point. I would just say, oh, I don't want this one just because it's a little thin on this side, okay? But again, the 5 things to take away, okay? Look at that label. There's some important information on that label, okay? Number 2, you want to look at the cryovac situation, okay? Well, 1 and 2 is actually the label because there's a date, there's a size. Okay, the 3rd is the cryovac, the 4th is the marbling, but the 5th is the consistency. Okay, that's the 5 things you're going to be looking for when you're choosing these briskets. Now, Chef John, you want to open this bad boy on up for us?
For sure. be happy to.
And again, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you leave any questions or comments in the comment section down below.
That's
we'll
right.
get to them as quickly as possible. Now again, right when this piece of meat goes into the cryovac, it starts what's called wet aging.
Yeah.
Okay? Dry aging is when the meat is hanging up in the refrigeration. Okay, and that's a constant refrigeration with monitored humidity. That is what's called dry aging. Okay, the wet aging is it happens in the cryovac in the package, and this thing can actually sit in your refrigerator, for 30 to 60 days right here, Chef John, and continue to age.
That's right.
Okay, the longer it ages, the better this piece of meat is going to taste. Okay. You want to go ahead and trim this down for us, Chef John?
So it's already, it already looks, like Jody said, really good. We got a lot of intermuscular fat. So I really want to just start taking off the hard fat, right? So that's all of this stuff in here that's really hard. And this stuff, you can actually, when you feel it, it's really, really soft. So we're just going to start on one side, and we're just going to cut. And when we're cutting, we're going to make small cuts, because you can go back and take more off. You can't put it back on once you've taken it off. So small cuts is key here.
And again, we're just going to do a backyard brisket trim today.
Yeah.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy. We're going to leave the flat meat, which is this muscle right here, connected to the point meat, which is this muscle right here. And then if you really need to kind of remember what they're called, the flat lays flat, the point points up to the sky.
That's right.
And just,
There's some of that discoloration that Jody was talking about. And we're just going to cut that off, right? It's not going to be edible, and you'll see that it's really just a layer of fat on it. You're not cutting out a lot of meat. You're really just taking off that brown spot, right?
There you go, Chef John. You can put
Thanks,
all your
Jared.
drippings
Appreciate
and such in
So
there.
another thing about when we're trimming it up, and this goes for backyard as well as competition, is we want to keep it as aerodynamic as possible. That is going to ensure that smoke rolls across this brisket, and every part is touched. There won't be any valleys or dips in there.
Shoot, yeah. Very good
We don't-
point,
we
Chef
don't
John.
want that.
And lots of folks in the comment section. Again, we've got winners to announce. We got to get up to at least 100 likes in order for us to spin that wheel of Rectex. So make sure you smash that share button and hit that like and love button. I see our last week's winner, Adamus Lingness, is out there. He's talking a bunch of smack
Adam.
about
What's
winning.
going on?
Les Burrell's out there. Kevin Fuller, Aaron West, Dana Pascal. Oh man, Lauren Letterer's out there. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. We really do appreciate it.
We do appreciate it.
Now this is a beautiful looking backside to this brisket, Chef
Yes,
John.
and now you taught me a cool trick about this.
Oh, I did?
Trimming this. Yes, you did.
Fun fact.
Fun fact. Jody teaches me all kinds of cool stuff all the time. And this was one of them. So when I first started doing briskets, I was trimming all this fat off, right? And it takes a long time. And when you're a beginner at trimming briskets, it's a labor of love.
Yeah, it takes a long, long time.
Yes.
Like it would take us, 45 minutes to an hour to trim a brisket sometimes, just because, again, we were inexperienced and we hadn't cooked 100 to 200 of them.
That's exactly right. So, but Jody's method is, so we're looking at, this is the part with the point right here, right? See how it comes up? This is the point meat right here. This is all flat meat. Now the flat meat's not gonna have as much fat in it, so we're gonna break this brisket into thirds, right? 1/3, 2/3, the last third. So we're gonna trim the fat off of the top 2/3 because this is where the point is. And we're gonna leave some of the fat on the bottom third because that's where the leaner meat is.
Yep. And we're going to cook this fat side down. I know a lot of folks out there hear a lot of stuff about folks on the internet talking about cooking, fat side up. The fat is just going to melt and go into the meat. That is not going to happen. That is scientifically impossible. Now that intermuscular fat, yes, that is going to break down. And yes, that is going to flavor our meat and render down and do a great job of giving us a good beefy flavor. But none of the fat on the outside of that meat is going to somehow render down and penetrate into the meat, okay? So that is a urban legend.
And so we're just going to take some of that discolored fat off. See, I'm not really going in too deep right here. I just want to take some of that discolored stuff off.
And Chef John's using a slicing knife right there. It's much longer, therefore you can get much longer strokes in it and absolutely cover more surface area. But again, we're leaving that fat on the flat part because the flat part has less of that intermuscular fat, less of that fat on the inside, and we're going to kind of protect it. Okay, we're going to cook it fat side down. Traditionally, you're going to cook all things large and small, briskets, butts, things of that nature, fat side down. You're always going to point the fat towards your heat source and kind of protect the meat. Now again, with the Rectech, you've got 2 pieces of metal between the meat and the heat, so we don't necessarily need to protect that meat, but that's traditionally how we're going to cook it.
All
Man,
right.
you're making quick work of this, Chef John.
I'm just, I'm going to make it a little bit more aerodynamic. I mean, I think we could go with it looking like this, but for
sure.
the people out there, I want to get it a little tighter.
Now, when I'm cooking brisket at the house, well, let's go back. This is a choice Angus brisket.
That's right.
That we purchased from the big box store. This is not, your prime or your Wagyu. So this is, going to have less marbling in it, but it's still going to be a great product.
Yeah. All right, Jody, I think I'm coming to an end on this. We're about ready for seasoning.
And I'm a huge fan of that salt, pepper, garlic seasoning of the Ben's heifer dust. It's got a little paprika in it as well, but for that color, I really like to add that Ron Screamin' Pig Rub because it's got a lot of paprika in it, some of that cayenne, so it's going to give it a good, deep, rich, red mahogany color that you're looking for.
All right, and there we go, my friend.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Backyard.
Super fast backyard trim. Again, you're just exposing surface area of
That's
that
it.
point, expose the surface area from the top, and now you can season it up.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and hit it. Is that
Please,
okay
please,
with you?
please. I'm going to go ahead and check on this.
All right,
these
so
two briskets.
for all things beef, guys, Ben's heifer dust. Definitely go get it. Part of that rub and sauce bundle. Right now, 15% off at rectech.com. And we're going to put an ample amount. One of the things we teach in our barbecue classes is season high and let it fly. That means you don't want to be down here when you season it because it's really going to clump up. You want to go up top.
That's it, babe.
So you're going to get a much better coating. Now, the next thing after you season is you want to let this rest, right? You want to give this seasoning a chance to absorb into
Let that
this
meat
brisket.
sweat down a
That's
little bit, right?
Right. So you don't want to ever rub this, right? If you need to, you could pat it. Patting is acceptable. Don't ever rub it, though, because you're really just rubbing that seasoning right off. All right, so we're going to do the whole thing.
And
But
again,
guys-
don't worry about this hard fat in here. Again, when we go to cook this thing, when it gets good color, when we go to wrap it, we're just
Yep.
going to go ahead and separate the point from the flat.
Yep.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now, a lot of folks ask us to explain that. It is just as simple as taking this brisket off of the grill, putting it on a cutting board
That's right.
with hot gloves because that piece of meat's really, really hot. Getting your knife and literally cutting and separating the point from the flat and then wrapping them separately. That's what we did over here with the Rectech butcher paper, and we'll be able to show you in just a little bit. I'll go ahead and take this for you, Chef John, if you want to get cleaned up. But again, we got 2 winners to announce.
That's right. You guys definitely want to stay tuned for that.
And a lot of folks have been using that hashtag Rectech Barbecue Month.
Yeah.
And again, we've been seeing all of those pictures. We're able to save those and then share those into our feed as well. So we really do appreciate you guys got a little bit more time
right.
to enter in and win one of those Rectech bundles that are available at rectech.com.
Yeah.
Shoot ya.
We're doing great.
Man, that was quick. All right, come on over here, Sherpa. I want to show them in this RT 1070. Sherpa shot us earlier today separating our point from our flat. We've got our 2 pieces of meat right here. Get them on out. Throw them on the cutting board. And again, we use that Rectech butcher paper available at rectech.com. I'm a huge fan of that foil because I like to save all of that juice and all of that stuff on the inside.
Me too.
That paper kind of makes it a little hard to do so, but I'm going to attempt to do so today and pour it into a pan and then pour it back onto this delicious piece of meat. Look at this, guys. That looks great.
Okay.
Chef John, if you can help me,
Yeah.
I'm going to hand you this.
Hold on 1 second. Let me grab this.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, look at that guy.
And you get the meat, the paper, and just put it in that pan right there for us.
That's a big guy. Guys, smash that share button.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, try to pour, yeah, there we go. Now, this is exactly what you want to save, ladies and gentlemen. All of that deliciousness right there. Get yourself an oil separator.
Yeah.
Strain
Living
that
your
stuff.
best life.
Again, that was our flat. Here's our point meat here. Both very jiggly and very done. We cook this to an internal temperature of about 200 to 205 degrees. I actually just checked it until it was probe tender. Okay, I used my instant read thermometer. You guys can use the Rectech probes as well. But when you stick it in the meat and it goes through just like butter with zero resistance. That is called probe tender, okay? Again, the cooking to a temperature, is the guideline.
Yeah.
That is, if it was rock solid at 205 degrees, I'm still not going to take this bad boy off.
No, definitely
okay, if you were
not.
to take it off, you're gonna have an issue on your hands.
Yeah. I mean, it's still at 205 degrees. If it's still tough, I mean, yes, it's still edible, but that's not what you're looking for. And it will eventually go soft. Like, you guys just have to believe in yourselves, believe in the cook, believe
bit
in the
of
grill.
patience.
Yeah, and it will get to where you want it to go.
Okay. All right, before we slice this up, we're going to go ahead and announce
Let's do
last
it.
week's Funday Friday winner. We spun the wheel of RecTech, and
That's
for
right.
some reason, landed on the RecTech cookbook again.
Again?
I promise you guys, it's not going to land on that cookbook again.
We got to service that thing.
All right. But last week's winner asked us a question.
Yep.
Said what is the best way to cook a brisket in the bullseye?
I love it. For me, it was going to have to be, I like to go hot and fast. So I'm going to go about, with the bullseye, it's different. So I'm going to go hot and fast, it's probably about, 300, 275 with a pan, a half aluminum pan. I like to put a little beer in there, that's my secret. Just enough to where when the drippings fall in that pan, it's not going to burn up, right? I want to collect as much oil as I can coming off that brisket. But then I'll let it roll out, wrap it at around 165, 175.
When it looks pretty.
Yeah, when it looks pretty. Kick it up to about, let it go, put it back on, let it go till it's about 205 to 210. Pull that bad boy off, let it rest, and you're good to go.
Easy peasy. And
That's
that's
brisket you ever made, right?
two best briskets I ever made were on the bullseye, and that's the exact same way that I would make it, Chef John. So thank you for doing that. So I don't have to answer that question. But the winner of last week's Funday Friday spin of the wheel was Mr. Derek Boyd.
Hey, congratulations, Derek.
Congratulations, Derek.
Yeah,
DM the
my friend.
RecTech Facebook page, and we will confirm that it is you and get that prize headed out there to you. And then our bundle winner from using the hashtag RecTech Barbecue Month.
Okay, here we go.
Again, this is going to be the winner of a barbecue master bundle.
Yeah, this is big.
That's a big
guys.
one.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Did everything we asked of them. We really do appreciate you sharing your pictures on hashtag RecTech Barbecue Month. But the winner is Mr. James DeWall.
Hey, James,
Congratulations, James, you old son of a gun. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Again, DM us. We will confirm that it is you and get those prizes headed out there to you guys.
That's awesome.
Happy Barbecue Month, you old
Yeah,
sons of guns.
Sons of guns. I love giving stuff away.
We do love giving
I feel
things
like
away.
Oprah when I guess, you get a grill, you get a grill, you get a grill.
You look like Oprah.
I wish I was getting paid like
The
that.
hair. I was watching, rest in peace Tina Turner, but I was watching this thing and
Tina.
Oprah popped up. Did you know she wore a Tina Turner wig
Yeah.
for like 4 years?
Yes.
It was a wig the
Yeah.
whole time.
You didn't know that it was a
Yeah.
wig?
Stedman had to tell her to take it off. Stedman. All right. So we're going to slice this thing now. It's very important to slice against the grain, everybody. And if you can't figure out where the grain is, just pick the piece of meat up, and it's going to tell you where the grain is. Look for the little crevices and valleys and lines and striations. So we know our grain is running in this direction. We're going to get ourselves a nice, sharp slicing knife, and we're going to slice.
But I can already tell that it's delicious, Jody.
Yep, we're going to
I can
slice
see
these
that
slices
smoke
nice
ring.
and thin.
Oh my goodness.
And I always like to get that fourth slice. I don't know what it is.
What was the total cook time on this thing?
So the total cook time, again, it was a hot and fast. I got here at 5:30. I put it on at 5:45 at 300 degrees.
Yeah.
Got here at 9 o'clock, started spritzing it.
Okay.
About 9:45, I wrapped it.
Okay.
And it was ready. It was temperature ready. It needed to rest,
Yeah.
but it was ready at 11:30.
Perfect.
Okay?
That's
Easy
great.
peasy.
I love hot
And look at
fat.
that. Beautiful smoke
my
ring.
goodness.
Again, the smoke ring, that RecTech generates an amazing amount of smoke. Yeah!
That's a win.
Yes!
That's a win. Juicy, flavorful.
I
Good
dated a
taste that
girl.
smoke.
I dated a girl named Juicy in middle school one time.
Really?
Yep. She was really nice.
Was she a nice lady?
She was super nice. She had a great mama.
But delicious, super moist, and this is the flat. So you know that if you're tasting this and you get all the beef flavor and you get all the juice, that point's going to be even better.
Yeah. The point you do not, you don't want to slice. You generally just want to cube up.
Right.
Your point, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, that's how they do it in Texas.
No, that's how they do it in Texas. You can also just chop that point up as well, but just tender.
Juicy, delicious.
And you taste the beef.
Well, you
You're tasting the beef. The Ultimate Blend pellets do an amazing job
amazing job.
of not overpowering it,
Yep.
but yet still giving you a good amount of smoke flavor.
Yep.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I got here at 5:30. I put the meat on and I left.
Yep.
I monitor it from my RecTech app. No other pellet grill can you do that. You can't babysit any other pellet grill, ladies and gentlemen. You're gonna have temperature fluctuations. The PID controller in the RecTech is hands down far superior than our competitors. You couldn't do this with a competitor pellet grill. No. You could not do it. You would be worried, I promise you.
It wouldn't turn out like
you would
this.
stress out. No, it would not,
turn out like this. No, it would not turn out like this.
But again, you want to slice up your flat. You want to cube up your point. And again, this makes great tacos, great quesadillas,
That's what we're doing,
all of that good stuff. Come on in here, Sherpa. Check out this beautiful smoke ring.
Wow.
Cheese and crackers. All right, John, it's your turn to spin that wheel of RecTech.
Okay, let's do this thing.
Now, there's some rules.
All right, yeah, there's 2 rules, guys. First rule is you have to spin it with the utmost confidence in yourself, AKA hard as hell. And the second rule is you have to spin it to the right. Now, we like to put it on what we want to give away. And since we've been doing cookbooks, I'm going to put it on that B380, and that's the B380X. That's the new one, all right? Jody, count me down, buddy.
3, 2, 1, go!
Spin it! All right, guys, so all I need you to do is like this video, share this video, go in the comment section, and ask a question. Ask a question is what we're talking about. Oh, here we go. Oh, it's still going.
It landed on RTB380X.
That's how we do it.
Randomly.
See, I'm a lucky spinner.
Holy crap, that was a good... Man, I need to learn how to do that.
I'm telling you, it's all on the wrist.
Man, I've been wanting to give away an RTB380X, and thank goodness we get to do it at the end of barbecue month. What a great celebration today was.
That's right. So all guys, if you want to enter to win that, like the video, share the video, and go in the comment section.
Ask us a question.
Ask us a question. That's all you got to do.
Ask us a question.
And we will
Last week's winner asked the best way to cook a brisket.
Yeah.
Mr. Derek,
Yeah.
you know, he's gonna be able to knock it out of the park this week.
Sure enough, yeah.
But again, 15% off, rectech.com, RECTEQ.com. Make sure you sign up for the newsletter to find out about all that cool stuff.
That's right.
We want to wish a happy 1-year anniversary to our Lehigh retail location.
Yeah, baby.
They will be doing some celebrating this weekend, so you guys go by there and see them. 5025 West Hudson Way, Suite 10 in beautiful Lehigh, Utah. Go see those beautiful smiling folks up there.
Yeah, look at them. Take it off the train.
One even has an English accent.
I love it.
Yeah, it's fun.
I love it.
That's fun.
I love
All right,
it.
well, we're getting ready to eat this brisket with some of our friends.
That's right.
We're going to go celebrate barbecue month.
That's right.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a great Memorial Day, and let's remember what we're observing.
That's right.
Memorial Day. We really do appreciate everybody that has made a sacrifice for this country.
That's right.
But from everybody here at the RecTech Worldwide Headquarters in beautiful Evans, Georgia, God bless you. God bless the United States of America.
And we'll see you
At the RecTech. Do, do, do.